Um,
All right.
I'm just going to share this link to my pages real
Fantastic,
fast.
man.
Um, so while we are waiting for everybody to start joining, we can actually do this, seeing as it's the semifinals and stuff. Um, Both of you are now here at the semifinals. Um,
Yeah,
Monk, you defeated Kita,
I did.
and
Not by a lot, but I
Spencer,
did.
you were able you lost to Huey, then you turned around and beat Kita in the wild card round. Which
I
brings
did, I
us
did.
to today. Do you feel comfortable or excited about y'all's chances?
I do.
I'm up in there. I'm at like a 50-50 on it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about 50-50, but, I do feel like I have a little bit of a chance.
Sweet. So, letting this takes a second for everything to kick in, and we're building a small audience right now. The people that are watching, you are more than welcome to comment on the stream and discuss the questions that we discuss. And we will be beginning here in just a moment. Alright, so now that we have a small audience to begin with, I'm going to pull up the questions here and we will begin. Would y'all like to plug your YouTube channels real fast? Twitch channels, all that good stuff.
All
Mine's
mine should
pretty
be
good.
in the description below.
Ooh, see what he did there.
Yes.
Mine are very easy to remember, actually. Mine is both either youtube.com or twitch.tv/main type with capital M, capital T.
Okay, so both of you are streamers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and start my game up here. And we will begin with round 1. I get the rare chance to train as a Jedi or Sith. Which master should I get to train under? Now, Jacob Spencer, you played last week in the wildcard round, so we're going to let Monk go first.
Alright.
Alright, I picked Jar Jar Binks, of course. No, I'm just joking. I picked Yoda. Because,
Okay.
I mean, he is the ultimate Jedi. Of course, before he passes on, but he's extremely patient, he's strong-minded, extremely intelligent. He can even redirect the lightning from the Sith Lords. So there's really not much that Yoda can't do. And, who better to learn under than the Master himself?
All right. Spencer, your answer, please.
My answer, I went with Obi-Wan, actually, because Obi's master was Yoda, and his apprentices was actually Anakin Skywalker and Luke Skywalker. So there's some very familiar names and faces within the Star Wars franchise there. But I went with Obi-Wan just because he was under, like he was talking about Yoda, who is obviously like one of the best that you could actually learn under well, I mean, he already gave the reasons for that. But I also like the fact of the Anakin and Luke part of it, because he has also trained some very skilled Jedi's as well as Sith at this point. And Obi is still going to be a little bit younger than Yoda, so I feel like he's still going to be able to a little bit. Let's see how. Gotta figure out how to word this. I just feel like he'd be able to get it all, his thoughts and teachings off easier than someone as old as Yoda.
Okay. Alright, so why would Obi-Wan be a better choice than Yoda?
Let's see. Well, Obi-Wan actually, he trained to the, the top Jedi and top Sith, I guess you'd say, it was Invader. But, he did, once Luke did grow up, he did train Luke to, be able to fight with the Force to go up against Darth Vader. Because once Luke got old enough, he was actually able to take on Vader, because Obi-Wan was too old at that point fighting a Vader that was in his prime. And therefore, he was able to get his teachings off someone younger. Therefore, I just feel like he's just gotten more of a current, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, he's got more relevance, to today's time, I guess. I don't know how the word I'm trying to think of there. I lost it. But it's basically an age thing.
Okay. Alright, well, why would Yoda be a better choice than Obi-Wan?
Because it's Yoda. Yoda trained pretty much everybody, if you think about it. You know, just going by, somebody had to train each of them down the line, and they all had to learn from somebody. So I'm sure Yoda didn't teach everybody everything that he knows.
Okay.
So I'm sure there's certain tricks that even Obi-Wan or Luke or Anakin doesn't know that Yoda has up his sleeve.
Alright. Oh, y'all make this so complicated. Alright, well, let's put this to a fan vote. I've got several people watching at the moment. In the comments below, tell me which one won this debate for this first question, and I will come back to this at the end of the round, in here in a few minutes, and we'll tally the votes, and whoever had the most votes will win this first round. And we will begin with our second round. Our second round being, I get to wield a powerful weapon or item from the comic universes, can be Marvel or DC. Which one should I choose? The only rule I gave y'all on this is it could not be the Infinity Gauntlet.
Which was smart.
So, Spencer, you may go first.
Alright. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm on the right one here. Okay. I decided to go with Thor's hammer with this one. Mainly because you have to be considered deemed worthy to wield Thor's hammer. So if you have that one rare chance to actually be considered deemed worthy to do so, I think it's a good time to take it. But the thing about Thor's hammer is it actually is what gives Thor many of his powers and abilities. Whoever holds the hammer, if he is worthy, actually would get Thor's powers. So therefore, you could be able to cast lightning bolts and even destroy mountains, and as well as absorb energy. So I just feel like that's the that would be the best item or weapon to be able to wield if you're ever given the chance.
Okay. Alright, Monk, which weapon?
I went with, and I know you're not a big fan of this necessarily brand of superhero, but I went with the White Lantern ring.
Okay.
It's got the power of life and creation itself. It's got power of all the other Lantern rings. You can phase in and out. You have invisibility. You can absorb damage. You can even travel over large areas of space. You can heal yourself. And if need be, you can always make ring duplicates for anybody else if you need help for a situation.
Alright. So why should I choose Thor's hammer over a White Lantern ring?
3 minutes.
I say you should choose Thor's hammer just for the simple reason of you might, who knows, in the future you might be able to run into a chance to actually get a lantern ring, but if it is one of those any weapon chances like it is in this situation and that you can be considered deemed worthy, I feel like you should just, it's better to take the chance on a weapon that would be very limited chance of receiving.
Alright, why the White Lantern ring over Thor's hammer?
Well, first of all, with Thor's hammer, you have to hold a weapon. The White Lantern ring, you can just easily have it on your finger and still have two hands to do whatever. But you also have to be deemed worthy. There's a chance that you won't be deemed worthy, in which case the hammer will be practically useless.
You look death in his beady eyes and you
All right.
spat in them.
Do we have any final thoughts from either of you on this question?
I don't believe so.
I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure, but I think there have been instances where people has picked up Thor's hammer without being deemed worthy. Like the Hulk, once he gains so much power from being so pissed off at everything. But I could be wrong on that. Don't hold me to that.
Okay. Y'all made this. Yeah, y'all both did very well in your arguments. That's what makes this one really tough. White Lanterns are powerful. They really are, and so is Thor. And based on your arguments and your two options, if those were my only two options, going based on what y'all both have said, I'm going to go with Spencer. And the reason being is to be able to have all of Thor's powers. Because that is the source of his powers to begin with, and Thor is a beast. Not saying that White Lanterns aren't. White Lanterns are great. They're super powerful, all that. But just based on those alone. Alright, round 3. I want to place myself in a space-based video game. Which one should I go with? Monk, you go first.
I went with the Destiny 2 universe.
Clash.
Okay.
You have the Traveler there, which
This is a game
gives you
for combat
all kinds of advanced technology and advanced weaponry. There's a big variety of weapons to choose from. You have multiple planets and systems you can visit. You have your own personal ghosts that can revive you if anything was to go bad. And most of your enemies can be killed by a team of 3, if not a team of 6 at the most.
Okay. Alright. Spencer, which video game should I place myself in?
Alright, I actually went a little different route with this one, and I chose No Man's Sky. Mainly because there's tons of different planets
just took the
that
lead.
you can actually support, or, well, explore or inhabit. Tons of different scenery, and really not that much danger. So if it's a place you actually want to live, I wouldn't want to constantly have to put myself in danger. There is still wildlife and just cool places to see and go within No Man's Sky. So I just feel like when it comes to all-around living conditions, No Man's Sky could bring a better source of living, because you might be able to find a island or a planet that has water or food. Or I just feel like there's a better chance of survival.
Okay. Why should I choose the Destiny universe over, which, by the way, is what I'm playing right now, over No Man's Sky?
I thought about choosing No Man's Sky myself, but I figured I'd go with a less safe choice. Just because you might want a little more adventure. You might want, you might be that thrill-seeking type of guy who wants to go out and maybe not necessarily fight the biggest, baddest person out there, but, you know, a variety of different enemies. As far as No Man's Sky, is you have to spend most of your time gathering your materials and building stuff. And you can't really explore and enjoy the scenery. You're always traveling, you're always gathering materials. Whereas Destiny, you can always take a break and not worry about having to gather materials if you don't.
Okay. Why would No Man's Sky be better for me than Destiny?
Because to me, I look at it might be fun, playing a video game and having to get to go around and kill things. But to me, if I'm actually living somewhere, I would want to take a more safer approach. Who knows? I mean, living in No Man's Sky, you might have to actually hunt down. If you're actually living there, you have to hunt down maybe some wildlife. So that could be your thrill or adventure. And once you do get your stuff built, you can take a breather, you can take a break. You don't necessarily always have to gather materials and build. But I just feel like it's a much more scenic and more livable atmosphere, livable place.
Okay.
But you can't experience it with anybody.
Bring a blow up dog.
Whereas Destiny, you can enjoy it with your friends or even meet new people. Test your skills against each other.
Well, both of you had very good points, very strong points. Destiny 2, I would be in, or Destiny Universe, I would be in more danger. No Man's Sky would be safer, but I would spend a lot of my time alone. Oh. Based on the friend building and being alone part, I'm gonna give this to Monk. So we are tied right now. 10-10. And going into our fourth round. Friday the 13th released a video game not long ago. What other horror franchise deserves its own video game? Spencer, you can go first.
Alright, I decided to go with Saw. Just because, I don't know if you've got to play Friday the 13th, but I have. It's actually one of my favorite games I do play. And one of the things I like about it is the teamwork aspect of it. And that's why I decided to go with Saw, is because of the teamwork part of it. I think being able to be trapped in a room and in these traps and have to find certain ways to get out of these traps in a room in a certain time frame could be fun and hectic, as well as an excitement for you and your friends to actually play. It just seems like in each time it could be different traps or different rooms. Say there's tons of Saws movies you can mold this game after in different levels and stages and stuff. So I just feel like that could be a fun and as well as a exciting game to actually give a chance to play.
Okay. Monk, which video game?
I went with the Puppet Master series.
Okay.
There is a large story that you can go with, spanning from 10 different movies, all having their own kind of era and theme. and there's over 20 puppets that you can choose from, as long as different. I can't think of the word. Different eras or different generations of Toulon, which is the puppet master that you can play as. You can have many different modes, not only campaign but multiplayer modes. Many different multiplayer modes. You could have puppet versus puppets, or you could have puppets working as a team to try to save the Toulons, or puppets trying to go and kill the bad
1
guys.
minute left.
And the variety of puppets is fairly vast. So there's over 20, and each one is kind of unique with their own weapons and abilities. So that give you even more variety.
Alright. Why would I rather play a Saw video game than a Puppet Master video game?
I don't have a whole lot of background on the Puppet Master series. That's one I never really watched, but it kind of sounds like something similar to the video game called Five Nights at Freddy's, which is based around puppets and stuff. And I just feel like Saw would be something new and different than what something as puppets has already kind of been done. So I just feel like going with Saw would just be something new and exciting to actually play. And plus of the multiplayer experience with it, of being able to try to escape with your friends.
You're beaten. This time.
Okay. Why would I rather play a Puppet Master video game than a Saw one?
Well, Puppet Master, since Spencer's not too aware of Puppet Masters, they're more of like the little marionette puppets as opposed to a big mechanical kind of robot. But you could have a form of multiplayer where you try to escape out of a room or something, trying to get away from the puppets. There's just a different variety of modes that you could play as opposed to just escaping from a room every time. The traps may vary, but eventually it's going to get more repetitive. Whereas the Puppet Master, you would have different multiplayer modes as well as a campaign with co-op.
Okay.
So you could enjoy it with your friends 2 different ways.
Alright. Well, based on the ones that y'all gave me, both of you have great ideas. To me, the one that sounds most interesting based off the 2 that you gave me is the Saw one. Working with 4 or 5 friends, trying to escape a room, different disasters. Yeah, it'd be repetitive, but so is the Friday the 13th game. But you don't have the same gameplay each time because you're either a different character or you're working with a different group. You're trying something a little bit different. So I'm going to give that one to Spencer, which will put him at 20. And we're going to go to the votes right now. I've got some on my phone here, and I got some on my live stream. And Monk, you have taken the first round.
Alright.
So it puts us at 20 and 20. Okay?
Alright.
So, how many points are y'all wagering for the last round?
Supremacy. Defeating an opponent drops their
I'm
crown.
gonna go
all
all
in.
in.
That's your
All in?
Take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Points
Pitch.
won't do me any good if I lose. Might as well use them all.
Alright. So, Phase 4 of Marvel will be... Is it Phase 4 or Phase 5? Anyways, the next phase of Marvel is getting ready to start. They just released the trailer for Infinity War. Alright. Pitch me a movie for the next phase of Marvel. You can have a minute to think.
Alright. Yeah, Marvel. It's definitely not my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
A movie idea for the next phase of Marvel.
Yes.
You had to go with something like that, didn't you? Alright, I think I got one, and I'm hoping that it's not one that's already, well, I mean, I kind of hope it is planned, but I kind of hope it's not planned just so, you know, it won't just disqualify my answer or anything. So I'm pretty sure I got one I can live with.
Alright. What is it?
I haven't seen it yet, the new Thor movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I have heard that it touches upon the Planet Hulk thing.
Oh, fuck.
And I would love to see the Hulk and you know all the different stadiums and fights and just battle it out with many different ones. You could get a lot of different movies out of that.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna go for Planet Hulk theme as well. I was just gonna hope. I would like to see something where, because I mean, you know that one of my favorite superheroes is the Hulk. But I would like to see them end up going to Planet Hulk. I would like to see the different varieties of Hulk. So something like where they go to they go to get Hulk, and when they're up there, they end up having a some type of dispute with him leaving, causing them to have to they have to actually fight the Hulks up there with Hulk on their side, kind of going against the Avengers or whatnot, and just kind of have a more of like the Battle of Planet of Hulk, something like that, of where Hulk doesn't want to leave at that point, but somehow within this fight it kind of brings Hulk together with them, and then they just kind of have like a series based off that.
Okay, so we've got one where we're watching Hulk fight a bunch of people, and we got one with the Avengers working with the Hulk to fight other Hulks. Am I understanding this correctly?
I believe so.
That's what it sounds like, yes.
Alright, so we're going with two Hulk ideas. Okay. Well, why would your Hulk movie... Can't believe we went all the way to Hulk.
Wasn't expecting that. Of all answers, all questions, this is one we had the same answer to.
Yeah, I'm not big on Marvel, so I had to go kind of generic for me.
Alright, so, Monk, why would your idea for the Hulk movie be better than his?
I think, at least, I mean, in my personal opinion, I'd be more interested in seeing the Hulk fight different people, either one-on-one or maybe a few at a time. That would also give entryways for some lesser-known villains, or maybe some fan favorites that haven't really got a bigger spotlight to show up, and you could possibly get 2 or 3 movies out of it. Maybe even more if you've done it right.
Alright, Spencer, why would your Hulk
That could always set a path to open up his movie.
Alright, Spencer, why would yours work out better than his?
Because I feel like his sounds like another Hulk movie, like that's came out, but just in a different scenery. I think Hulk actually fighting with other Hulks against the Avengers could bring a whole new dynamic to the fights that have went on. As we all know how Hulk's fights typically go, there's a lot of destruction, but this time he's on Planet Hulk, he's with other Hulks. They might not be as destructive against their own planets, so it'd be kind of interesting to see how they would fight being in more of their, I guess you'd call it atmosphere, on their turf more so. And it's just kind of be fun to see how the Avengers can work together to fight the unstoppable Rage, I guess you could say, that is Hulk. Plus other Hulks, obviously, so I guess Hulks, plural.
Okay. Alright. Yeah. Y'all are making this last one extremely tough.
Well, that sounds like another Avengers movie. You know, Avengers and the Hulk fighting some big tough guy, except for there's more of them.
But we are coming
Or at
off
least-
Avenger movies, so therefore it kind of still
This
builds
one-
into the same storyline.
Well, yeah, well, this one could be an off branch of the Avengers. And then the different characters fighting the Hulk would have different strategies that you would get to watch, as opposed to just watching a bunch of Hulks smash and watching the Avengers do the same thing the Avengers do.
Oh. Okay. Wow, guys. Y'all made this extremely tough. Oh. For my audience, please go ahead and comment. Tell me, who do y'all think won this last one while I sit here and think about these ideas. Both of you both chose Hulk.
Yeah, that was kind of odd.
The huge differences I see is one is a team-up movie. The other one is just straight Hulk.
Well, you could have team ups with mine.
You could, but like you said, it was going to be Hulk in the arena.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to focus on the Hulk, but you could have people show up, because you're already going to have a vast character lineup of villains to choose from. So that opens up the doorway for those respective villains' heroes.
Okay. Real fast, do either of you have final thoughts for this last question?
I'm just kind of going to reiterate like one of the things I said, because one of the arguments was the Hulk smash and Avengers do what the Avengers do. But the Avengers always got to come up with new ways to defeat opponents depending on who the opponent is. And kind of tying in with the Hulk smash thing, I don't know. You can almost make it where the Hulks aren't as, like I said, reckless on their own turf, because they don't want to see their own planet be destroyed. So it's kind of like a catch-22 of seeing how the Hulks can manage their power as well as the Avengers figure out a way to stop what the Hulks can bring to the table.
Okay.
Alright. Well, the Avengers are exactly what their name says they are. They're Avengers. What threat would Planet Hulk be to the Avengers if they were just all over there minding their own business? Usually the Avengers show up to something that's already happened. They've already lost one time somewhere, and then they pull the team together to reclaim that victory.
Well, that's what they're actually going on in this particular one, is to going to get the Hulk from Planet Hulk, and that's what kind of causes the whole thing. So they're kind of protecting themselves within this one because of the backlash the Hulks have with them trying to come take Hulk away from them.
Alright. Both are very, like, pretty interesting ideas and stuff like that. Oh, Lord. Anyways, I'm going to give this to Monk. And the reason being is, why would the event... I know they have went and got the Hulk from Planet Hulk before, and Hulk came back to Planet Earth or whatever, but it just sounds cluttered to me. Hulk fighting in the arena would make a lot more sense in a movie. And plus, if you've watched the new Thor, it gives you a little taste of that, and you know how fun it could be. So I'm going to give that to Monk. He will take the first semifinal round, which I will talk to you, Spencer, here in a minute about what's to come or what you could do for the rest of the season. So that is the first semifinal round, and it will go to Monk. The next episode will be is to be determined. Just pay close attention to my YouTube channel and my Facebook page to know when the next one is, because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it next Sunday. So just keep up with it and bear with me while we plan everything out. After that, we will have the final round, and whoever wins the final round will be up against me, because that's what a lot of people are saying they want to see. So I will be competing in my own show that I have created. And the thing is with that one is there's going to be a guest host who has appeared on this season, and there will be a judge to help determine, so they know that I cannot cheat to win my own game. So that'll be the week after the finals. Other than that, make sure you stay tuned for the next top 5 video coming out later this week. Guys, any last words?
Spencer, it was a pleasure debating you, sir.
Good to debate you as well.
Alright, and to you at home, thank you for watching. Please like and share this video. That way others can see it. If you want to compete in the next series of the Nerd Out, make sure you message our Facebook page. And the final announcement, which I will repeat this on the next episode, in January, early January, if you know Marvel, okay, where we have 2 huge Marvel movies coming out next year in the Black Panther and Infinity War, I am going to be hosting a show that is nothing but Marvel trivia. There will also be a prize for that. There is a limited number of spots for that. If you want to be in there, there is a post about it on my Facebook page, or you can message the Facebook page and tell me, hey, that's what I want to do. So, until next time, thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you next time on the Nerd Out.
Bye.